a broken TV. We'll fix that in a second. So
So it's back.
I love it when movie titles have like punctuation in them because that always means it's gonna win. This time we're talking about the new movie on Amazon Prime, Jackpot, with an exclamation point. Up next on the Entertainment Jungle. I don't have any of these
I feel. Are you guys looking? You feel good about this?
because we watched it.
As we finish the movie.
So
Or because we logged in on a time.
I don't know. There's other things. There's other movies that have punctuation, but I always think that's funny. But before I get your overall thoughts on this one, this movie starring Awkwafina and John Cena and Simu Liu, who's a bad guy again, which we'll talk about. Let's read the IMDb description, which is: in the near future, a grand lottery has been newly established in California. The catch: kill the winner before sundown to legally claim their multi-billion-dollar jackpot. That's it. I mean, that's pretty accurate. It's actually a combination of like two movies that I'll bring up in a second, but this is a wild premise. So
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
But let me get your overall thoughts on Jackpot. I want to start with Walter because I think he went into
Why
this
me?
with certain opinions, and I'm curious if any of them are close.
Well, I'm not coming in hot because it was still better than whatever movie we watched last week.
Ooh,
But
all right.
that's not saying much, and it's not saying much at all. It was a very far-fetched, crazy idea. You really have to take a lot of liberties here and just let it go and just try to enjoy it. It was okay, not great, and I did chuckle, but I did chuckle a lot more at the end credit scenes than I did any actual movie. So
Yeah. All right. I mean, you chuckling somewhat during the movie, I think, is a win so far. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes from here.
It's what every movie strives for.
A couple Walter chuckles.
Just a couple chuckles from Walter.
66. What do you got for us overall?
So I oddly enjoyed the chemistry between John Cena and Awkwafina. I thought that they had really good chemistry, and it was pretty well balanced. I don't think Awkwafina was too over the top, and I thought John Cena, this role was kind of made for him. Like, he's a bit of a dummy, and he's not. Look, he's a better actor than I am, but I'm not going to call him a great actor, right? So I thought this role was made for him. I thought it was like Idiocracy, but stupider, but with modern comedy. I mean, everybody seems so dumb in the movie. I can't say that I enjoyed the movie thoroughly, but I watched it. I got through it. It was entertaining, and I hope I never watch it again.
Wow, this is awesome. Walter had a couple chuckles. You made it through the entire movie. So far, this is better than some of the other ones.
I feel like a winner.
It's
Jackpot.
crazy.
Yahtzee.
All right, Ryan. Ryan the Lion's gonna bring us down.
No, I'd say I felt pretty similar to Walter about this one. I mean, it was okay. I think I also chuckled a little bit. I feel like John Cena definitely chuckled at his ridiculousness and largeness. But yeah, it's a pretty far-fetched concept. I feel like Idiocracy is a good, like, I feel like it's almost like Idiocracy meets The Purge.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a dumb movie, and it was all right. It was okay.
I said The Purge, and then I was trying to think of the second movie. I was thinking like a Mad World. It's kind of an old movie where they're all
John Wick number
John Wick
2.
Or Rat Race. Rat Race, which is
Well,
the
Rat
same
Race
thing. That's just a
the same
modern
thing, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Same movie.
I honestly thought everyone was gonna come in pretty low, but I also kind of like this movie. I don't even know why. Like, if you go into it thinking how bizarre this movie is, then just enjoy the ride, kind of. That's what it was. And I have some questions about that in a second. I want to talk on 66. John Cena plays this character. Maybe it's just him, but he plays this character very well. Like the tough guy idiot, but with a heart of gold. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen this from him I can't even count how many times now, right?
Yeah, I think it's definitely an exaggeration.
I mean,
I don't think that
Maybe.
John Cena. I feel like John Cena is like 1% of all of those qualities, and then this takes it to 100.
All right, I think so. Um, so let's talk about a little bit. First of all, I want to talk about what I started with. Like, this is such a wild premise. Not only is the lottery like a ridiculous amount of money, but they don't win it. They have to go murder the person, but if they survive, they win it. And I had so many extra questions about that, including, so is everything that they do to defend themselves legal also?
It's a good
That's what-
question because I thought too, like, if someone's trying to kill you, can you kill them? What's the legality here? I don't know.
Because John Cena didn't want to kill anybody. He was like, he kept like rolling him over and all this weird stuff.
Watch their tongue. Watch their tongue.
Yeah, it's not made clear, although she did blow up Simu Liu, so
Yeah, I know.
and at the end she's not in prison, so I assume that's proof that you are allowed to, I guess, as long as you don't use guns, right? That's like the one rule.
No guns.
What about the ones trying to kill her? If they kill somebody else who's trying to kill her,
Mm.
does that call? Is
Yes,
that
because they
considered
said
murder?
you can't kill the people trying to kill her. There was a line in the movie.
Oh, they
I
did
think-
say that?
I think
Are
there.
you sure?
Oh, I
it was
see. I didn't
literally
hear
a
that.
throwaway line. I think.
Oh.
If
I remember the
anyone
one
out there-
line where they were like,
pretty
make sure
positive I
you
saw
do
them
it
kill each
before
other.
it ends, because then it's an immediate murder charge if you do it like 1 second after
Yes.
it ends.
There was another throwaway line like that where they're like, you also can't, like kill the people trying to kill her or the winner. I
But
don't
you
know, what a
can maim them?
super. Once again, this was like so far. It was like such a bizarre thing, but there was also a line when they were explaining this about like, oh well, they have to go kill her, and then they're like, well, that's murder, and then they're like, not in California, and I was like, what a dumb,
It's like-
what a dumb explanation for that.
It's like,
Yeah.
technically, yes, it is.
It's definitely got some problems with the logic, and I still don't. I'm curious. I want to find that line where someone says you can't murder, because like they're just running through the streets, like you could be trampling people. Like, who's gonna solve that crime?
Oh, my favorite
Yeah.
part of this movie, my favorite part is that everybody carried some kind of hatchet or machete on their person for when this happens.
Exactly, seemingly
Oh.
because they know what day it's gonna happen. So like when that day is there, everyone's like ready to kill with a weapon, just not a gun.
Yeah, they kept pulling out all kinds of weapons, which is great. And then every time someone got hit, like John Cena hit someone, they flew like across the like,
Yeah.
like they were like, well, we're gonna play this up like a lot. But it leads me to my other question for you, which was, there was a moment, I think when they're in the panic room, where it got really heavy and real for a second, and I wanted to know if you needed that, or if you like that, or if this movie needed that to. I'm gonna use the word grounded, but that's a terrible phrase. But like, yeah, did they need that? Because you have parts where they're like literally like, strapped to each other's back.
I don't know
almost-
if we needed that as viewers, but I think
Yeah.
that those characters needed that. And because we already knew, like, I think you knew going into it, John Cena is doing the right thing for the ride. There was never a moment where I thought he was going to actually kill her and he was going to backstab her. And
Yeah.
the whole time she was super believable too, where she was just being innocent and just wanted. So I think those characters needed it to trust each other, but I didn't as a viewer.
I almost felt like those moments were added in order to explain things that did not make sense in the movie. Like there was like her not knowing about this lottery, and then the explanation was like, well, my mom was dying and I spent all my time with her and we didn't watch the news because it's depressing. It's like, oh, and you also didn't have the internet or exist in the world where people are being murdered in California for the last like few years. Okay, cool. And then like, why did she like keep running away from John Cena, who was her only chance of survival? It's like, oh, like my dad, I don't trust people because of what he did to me. It's like, I don't care about that. It's still dumb the way you behave.
What was There was another movie where that happened that we watched. Oh, maybe I'll think of it. Where they kept running away from the guy that was trying to help them the whole time, and I'm like, why are you doing that? I
Yeah,
forget what
and
it
it's
was.
not like she was better. Like, even if his plan was to eventually kill her, like, he was still her best chance. Like, what was she gonna do?
That's very true.
Yeah,
She had no.
it worked. It worked. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of liked it. Kind of brought that down from the craziness. I mean, it didn't help it a lot. Again, this movie wasn't great. So, but like Ryan Lyon said, it did bring context to what was going on. Because the whole time you're like, why in the world is this guy doing this? It makes no sense. Is it for money? Because really, you're gonna risk your life, especially when you find out he has been successful a couple times already. So it's like, all right, well, you obviously got money, so why are you still doing this?
And then explain that because he gave it back to the families and blah blah blah. That was nice. Again, it's a stupid movie with a stupid concept. So you just, I went Ryan Lyon here. I was like, I know this is going to be dumb, so I'm just going to whatever. Yeah, there's plot holes, but this isn't. You're not picking it apart like Lord of the Rings or Star Wars. You're like, this is a throw. This is Red Notice or whatever it's called. Like,
Sometimes I ask these questions just to see how everyone will answer it, but I agree. Like, it just was there to explain just enough. Because you're right. Because the audience is probably like, oh, he's gonna kill her, but no, he's actually a nice guy, And then that'll lead me. No, go ahead.
It just helped you like his character more too.
Exactly.
I think, yeah. It just knowing why he's doing it. It's like, oh, okay, I like it.
Right.
I mean, you're funny already. You're dumb.
Would it have been better if he did do like a Kaiser Soze turn? At the very end, he kills her and takes the money.
Oh, wait, you want to know what I thought might have happened at the end? I was like, what if Simu kills her after the time's up?
Ooh.
I was like, what a wild ending that would be in this. He gets charged for murder, and then she doesn't get
that would be legit too for him to do it because she basically took everything away from him because she recorded everything and he's basically said, yeah, I'm murdering people for money.
Yeah.
So he murders,
yeah.
I mean, but
well, if he did it within the 24 hours that they won the lottery, technically it's okay.
It's not illegal, but it will hurt his business.
I'm sure that contract they sign has something in it's like an Apple or who's getting scammed right now, like Disney. Like it's a contract that's like, oh yeah, well, I can murder you, no problem. I can
for sure, but the issue will be that no one will hire him again, which won't allow him to continue to get money this way.
So, can I ask you guys, how did he get away? How is his reputation already not stained? If he has that many people on the wall, and he kills those people for the money, then what? The families aren't going to go on the news and say something?
No, I believe that he did save some people, but he hadn't saved anyone in several years, is what I believe Cena said. And then over the last few years, the people that keep claiming the reward keep doing it anonymously. So they don't know who's doing the killing.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he did save people, but he killed people as well. So that he has the balance of like, I saved some people, but other people don't make it.
What?
And the ones that don't make it are ones that I guess he doesn't even reveal that they came to him for help. They just get killed and it's anonymously collected and no one knows. But then other times he's like, oh, but here's my people I've saved.
I'm with 66 here. How would he hide that? There's a freaking drone following them. They would obviously show that he was somewhere. And they would have to be going to his facility, right?
Well,
so the face machine.
And furthermore,
his plan was to take them somewhere else. So I don't know.
But people would have already known that the person was with that company. So that means he obviously failed. So through X amount of years, why would you go to him, knowing that those people failed?
They lost Katie quite a few times, and she wasn't even good at what she was doing.
That's true. But they have.
So they're just like, oh yeah, we lost our client.
What about that wall of like people that survived and it said anonymous? Like, why would you have anonymous on there if you didn't actually save them? Right? That wall.
That?
No. It was after the fact. So the was the ones that they actually saved.
On there,
those are legit.
Anonymous on there, on that wall. So I was like, it didn't make any sense. And that's when they brought the anonymous thing up. And I'm like, I don't.
But that wouldn't even make any sense because everybody already would know who the person was. So there couldn't have been an anonymous winner unless it was the person that killed the winner, and then they wouldn't have been protecting that person because they wouldn't have needed protection.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't catch that it said anonymous on the wall.
Well, I'm not
watching
either.
if it shows up on the trailer as we're talking about my next question, which was Simu. Was he this is another villain he played, surprisingly with more personality than the last villain he played, which was a robot. But I want to know what you thought of him as the villain.
That was the movie she kept running away from the guy, right?
Oh,
Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she kept running away from the robot. That horrible
actually
one.
right, yeah.
I don't remember what it was called.
All right. Let's see if
just know
it
it was
comes
the
up
J-Lo
right
one.
here. No, see, they skipped that part in the trailer because maybe you're right. I don't know.
Well, to answer your question, it worked. He plays a good conceited dick.
All right.
He was really good.
Because I'm curious, he went from whatever, Shang-Chi, but that was his, breakout role. But now he played a bunch of villains in, like, very interesting movies, if you want to call them that. You know what I mean? So career choice or not, I thought he played that character pretty well. I thought he was
feels like
killer.
he feels like he's having fun doing it too. Like at first, like he's just like the like cocky, confident guy that's like I can do anything, and then he kind of starts to unravel as things go off the rails. It's fun.
Yeah,
I liked it.
So, I wanted to know. Well, actually, Walter kind of brought it up. What did make you laugh, or what did make you chuckle, or anything like that? I want to tell you my favorite line in the whole movie. And it was, first of all, my favorite character might have been the old lady on the bus.
They popping up.
Get out of here.
Come on. She goes home,
Yeah,
and she's like, honey, take out the roast in 10 minutes. I have to go kill this girl.
that was so stupid.
Come on, that's such a good line.
That was so stupid.
That's a good line.
100% disagree.
I liked the bootleg Captain America line. That one got me. Okay, bootleg Captain America when John Cena had the Stars and Stripe helmet on in the car. Which, by the way, the helmet scene was pretty funny because they kept talking about the helmet and it kept coming up. I thought that was pretty good. They used that a couple times. And I think the one that really got me was, how can you not hear if your entire face looks like an ear? And then he's like, "Oh, that's offensive to me," because But I thought that was really good.
They were good at making fun of themselves and each other, which you saw in the end credits, which is always fun when they have their whatever
Very
the
self-deprecating.
Rhombus. Yeah.
It's good.
Oh, Walter,
What was your
for
favorite?
you? Yeah.
Oh, me? I can't even give you an example. I legitimately can't remember anything that made me laugh. I just remembered. I know I laughed, but there was nothing there. I was like, oh my god, I remember that line.
I was kind of in the same boat. Like I definitely chuckled. I think a few things that Cena said for sure, but I can't. I was trying to remember. I can't think of any of them right now.
I will say, usually when it makes me laugh enough, I'll write it down. But that was the only one that I wrote was that. Well, that and the murder. It's not Murder in California. I thought it was pretty funny. But I like when these silly movies. We always yell at movies that like don't bring things back around. But even this one, I was surprised Walter didn't bring up her stage combat like right away in the scene in like the karate, whatever it is, like the gym. She's taken down like all those people before John Cena even like gets there. Not well, but I was like, oh wait, she had that bag where she took stage combat. And I was like, that's a good enough connection in this movie for me, right?
Stage combat is really going to allow you to take down anyone, let alone a karate studio.
But she wasn't fighting. That's the thing. Like it was believable because she was trying to get away and
it
running.
Was.
It was everybody else fighting each other. So
more than anything else.
Yeah.
That's true.
Which is stupid. What if you just agreed to just kill her as a group? And there you go. You split it. Billions of dollars, really? You can't split that
I was also
between 12
thinking
people?
that too. Like, why couldn't you split
If that's
it?
allowed.
I mean, the couple was trying to do it, right?
Well, so
The
they
boyfriend
say.
and girlfriend.
Until the boyfriend kept punching.
Yeah,
his
I did
girlfriend.
not in any way believe that they would actually split it. I feel like they would totally kill each other after.
Which would then have been murder.
Real murder.
So, yeah, that would have been real murder.
I was curious why that. Like, they had the people that were gonna kill them, obviously. Why couldn't they split it? And then they had the fan club, and then they had Stanley, right, from The Office, being like a nice security guard randomly, which also was like, okay, cool, I guess.
It was weird because it was the first one that was like, oh, you know what? I don't believe in this. I don't want to kill you. I think you should survive, which was weird because everybody else was like all about killing the person. But then at the end, you saw the last like montage of excitement in the stage theater. You saw a bunch of people around California that were super excited for someone to make it and go kid. Like it was, it was all the whole thing. So she did have, I know they call them fans, but she actually had fans that were rooting for her to survive. So maybe they should have introduced that a little earlier, but I mean, who cares? It's a stupid movie.
Yeah. Although it totally made sense that those people wouldn't have been involved while people were running around trying to kill each other.
Right.
Because they would just be outside just like watching, like, oh, I hope she makes it.
Not helping, just
Yeah.
No, I mean, they'd be outnumbered. You would probably just get killed. It's not like they have any skills. They
But
just
then-
are hopeful from the outside.
They needed to bring that scene in at the end just because, it's California. Out of all the states in the United States, that's the
right.
one that would be the least likely to let
That's
this
what I
happen.
thought.
So-
I was like, California? That's crazy. Why not
They're not-
Florida?
Oh man,
Exactly.
this could really happen in Florida.
Probably
Like, Florida would have made so
no,
much
but
sense.
the
I'd be
gun
like,
reason-
oh, this doesn't even need to be in the future, really. Like, do that right now, and they would be on board.
It only works in Cali because of the gun thing, I think. Because
Yeah.
then you're like, okay, well, that's believable they won't use the guns. But in other states,
ones.
yeah.
Well, I also thought the fan club was a very nice kind of like hand of God moment where they literally save her by catching her at the end. Because I was also thinking, she's falling, she's gonna survive. How? And then they slowly unravel. I was like, what a bizarre way to even end this crazy movie. I'm all in. It's fine. Like,
Oh, what if she did fall, land on her back, survived, got the billions of dollars, but was a paraplegic?
Ooh,
That would have been so messed up.
like $1 million
also-
baby kind of situation.
Yeah. Oh man,
This is-
that would have been.
the movie was so like, there was nothing that really like surprised me. But at the end, I kept thinking of all these other ways it could end. I don't know why. Like all of a sudden, I was like, well, he's gonna actually murder her. This is gonna like. I just kept listing all these random endings that obviously were not gonna happen. I don't even know why I thought like that, but
When she was falling, I
It's
just
'cause you
thought
wanted it
Cena
to
was
happen.
going to save her. But
he was, yeah. All of a sudden, he was held down by two guys, but the whole movie he was beating up like hordes of the just hordes
Yeah.
of guys.
yeah, I just thought he was going to like shove them off and like either like catch her or like throw something to catch her. But whatever, it worked.
Pull a Toretto and catch her.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was gonna get into a car.
Oh, of all the
and-
physical feats he accomplished, catching her
No.
would have been unrealistic.
He's not Dominic Toretto. He doesn't need the car.
Oh, but he
He's-
did have a Vin Diesel reference in there, right?
He did.
Which was so. Which was
Diesel
pretty
was
funny.
great in that play that he
In
saw.
the play that was that ended theater for all time or something. I did want to bring up there was a director cameo. I want to know if anyone knows the director, Paul Feig. Does that name ring a bell?
I do know the name. I don't know who he was in the movie.
Oh, well, at the very end when he's getting sued for the turtle restaurant.
Uh-huh.
He's the guy that sues him. He's the guy that hands him the papers.
Oh.
He always has a little cameo in a lot of his movies.
Huh.
But he's done Bridesmaids. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure, right? Bridesmaids. I should have looked this up.
Yeah, no, he did.
Yeah, Bridesmaids, like The Heat. He did
Oh,
the
yeah.
spy movie. Well, then he kind of went down. He did the Ghostbusters, what we don't talk about. But I just was curious if like that, if this movie had any remnants of those kind of other his earlier movies, like Bridesmaids or anything like that.
This was a little far fetched. It'd be hard to connect those to those other ones.
That's true.
Those are really good ones too.
Ghostbusters is kind of far fetched.
I've never seen that one. So
Oh. Well, it's got a bunch of ghosts, which is a little far fetched.
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah. So let's see. Before we go into anything specific that I'm sure I've missed, I did like how it was very self-effacing, I guess is the word, right? Where at the very end, she quit acting because she thinks that movie stars are wrestlers and YouTube stars. Which
Nah.
did she come from YouTube?
She did.
I think so.
Did,
Okay.
yeah.
I
Yes,
just wanted
that
to
is
confirm that.
exactly, yeah.
So I was like, perfect. way to kind of end it. So, but like usual, what didn't I bring up? There's got to be a couple things that I didn't bring up that you're.
We kind
I
of
don't know.
talked about, but the whole Airbnb and the Airbnb host, I mean, that was wild. I mean, when she got to the Airbnb I said, I don't know, man, this movie, I don't know if I can do it. But she's getting like the poop, and then it's like, oh, there's something. Oh shit! No, it's actually shit. Fall up. I'm like,
It took
all
her
right,
way too long to figure out what that was. Like, it was in her
Yeah.
mouth.
You should be
And
able
she
to
was
smell
still
that.
like every single time it fell on something, she smelled it. Like, is it? Does it still smell that way? Oh,
I didn't really like get into the movie until she was the jackpot. Like as soon as she took, because she had to wear that woman's clothes, and as soon as she took that card out and pressed it, I was like, okay, all right, let's go. But I don't know what did you guys think about the Airbnb hosts? That whole thing.
it seems like an
Characters
accurate
were annoying.
representation of an Airbnb.
I
feel like
I
that was
was
a pretty
not on board. with
realistic
the-
performance,
I wasn't really on board with the whole, like you said, not realizing what was happening in the room. Like that was kind of like, all right.
Well, not realizing what was happening was kind of her main character trait for the first like half of the movie.
Actually, that's true. Even the way she signed up for it, she like just reached in her pocket and like held it really tight, right, or something.
Yeah, I feel like it would have been better if she knew about, like, it was weird that she didn't know about this contest. It would have been better if she knew about it, but just hadn't signed up for it and still basically got signed up the same way. And then her reaction was, oh no, I don't want to. And is trying to like reason people like, no, I'll like,
Yeah.
I don't want it. But then they're like, but we have to kill. So like, you still could have had the exact same scenarios play out, but it would have made more sense because of course she would have heard about this.
Actually, that would have made
Yeah.
a lot more sense. Actually.
Yeah. I was like,
Nothing
you
would
could
have
have had
changed.
all of the exact same scenes, except instead of her being like, what's happening? I don't understand. She's just like, no, I don't even want it. I don't want it.
Actually, yeah, nothing in the movie would change except for that.
No,
one.
absolutely not. And that was actually pissing me off. Like, while I was watching it, I was like, wait a minute. This would have been so much better if they just changed this one thing that, of course, she knows about this thing that literally everyone in this country would know about, but she didn't mean to sign up for it. Like, it would be the same situation.
That's very. Wow, that's
Ryan did it.
Yeah, you
Ryan
did
DeLine
it.
did it again. Just fixed the movie. Now it's a 10.
Well, it would have been a 10, is what you mean.
I might have tweaked a couple other things to get us to 10, but
Well, sometimes I ask how would you fix this movie, but I don't have any follow-ups. That would have probably been the only thing that would have really kind of made it kind of work.
I mean, it should
There's
have been an
some-
easy thing
yeah.
that I think would have made it a lot just make more sense.
There were some fun moments in the Wax Museum, poking fun at different celebrities and stuff like the
Yeah.
Kardashians. And
Yeah.
there were fun moments. I'm not trying to say it's a good movie. I'm just saying it was fun.
No, I
That's
think-
how we're all saying it. It's moments, but not great.
But again, her character not comprehending that every time she walked by one of those things, it was going to make noise was also annoying me. It's like, you literally just walked by it.
Oh, and then
So that's why.
when she tried to leave that one area, and she's like, "Wow, they're really noisy." You're like,
Yes,
yeah,
like
right?
within seconds, you walked by the J-Lo, it talked, and then you're standing there right in front of the J-Lo, like walking back and forth. It's like, it's going to talk again.
And just wait till they walk past.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Dang
very
it.
weird.
Yes, exactly. She's hiding behind the guy who just talked and then runs in front of him. Well, he's going to talk. That annoyed me.
Because
Because again, it's one of those things where like you can still have that happen, where just like maybe she bumps into something, and it goes off. Like that would have made way more sense. Because then it's completely accidental, and she's just she's trying to hide and like knock something over.
Actually, that's
But
true.
instead,
Yeah, that
she
would
was
have made a lot
she
more
was an
sense.
idiot.
Yes, I know. That's why. Like there were so many little things in this that pissed me off because I was like, you could have had that same scene, but with your character being less stupid.
So that's kind of why I'm saying it was like idiocracy, because every character in this movie, every person that was in this movie was kind of just stupid. The people that were chasing them, like everybody just seemed to be an idiot. Like in this future, which is not that far off, right? I mean, it's not that far away, a couple of years. In this future, it seemed like everybody in California was just dumb. Like we were in idiocracy. I don't know.
Let's not say that they're not right now.
Yeah, like it's not that far off.
There's a lot of dumb people there, and I feel like every one of those people would be signing up for this lottery.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean,
Because let's not forget, all the people that we encounter are people that signed up for this lottery, where you either get killed or try and kill someone. So it's not like the best and brightest are who we're encountering.
They yeah,
Fair.
they are definitely know what they're signing up for. Put it that way, right?
Yeah, like there are certainly people in California that didn't sign up for this who we did not encounter.
But I don't know. I'm trying to think of like I never saw the Purge movies. I know the premise.
Oh, really? None of them?
No.
Yeah,
Wow.
same. None.
Well,
Wow.
I wanted to watch the first one, but then I found out that instead of like doing what I thought the movie was gonna do, where we like go out in the Purge, they like stayed in the house. I could be wrong about that, but
Oh, you're correct.
and I was like,
That's
"What?"
the first one. It's about a family who's trying to hide from the purge.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
But
is
there are like 10 other ones, and they all go out in those.
there's a lot more. My connection was there's a lot of people that would like murder for $3 billion, like. But
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I'm not saying that.
Oh,
that
I
part's
mean,
unrealistic.
if it was an option, I do believe that at least this many people would sign up.
Yes, that's very true. That's. Oh man, I think this one didn't really have many questions because I was just kind of walking through it, just like this is wild and I'm having some fun and.
I was wondering how long we would talk about this because I'm like, what's there to talk about?
Did you
keep
think
it
the
going.
Sean William Scott part was necessary?
Oh,
I feel like
That was
Stifler.
awesome.
That was
I
awesome.
feel like it was so unnecessary, but I mean, yeah, it was
It set the
fun.
premise up.
I knew exactly what was going to happen as soon as I saw his face, though. I was like, oh, well, he's definitely going to die because that'll be funny.
So did it matter that the mother that killed him? That was just like so now she's a millionaire, and she gave it to like what?
Yeah, she just is.
That was just like all right. This is the premise, and on to the next.
Yeah, it was just to set
Segment
up,
of the
set the scene, and like obviously some cool fights along the way. And it's Sean William Scott, so you chuckle because it's like, Sean William Scott died.
Yeah.
It's like the Drew Barrymore in Scream. It's like, no, they're not gonna kill that person. It's like the biggest name. Oh, they killed him.
Wait, you're not saying Sean William Scott was the biggest name in this movie, then, right?
Top 3.
All right.
Was there a rule about not taking down the drone? Because I think that's one of the first things we try to do is like get rid
Well,
of
you
the
can't
drone.
use guns though. Like it would be.
Well,
challenging.
no. They were using technically guns. The dart thing's a gun. They just weren't using bullets, even though it specifically said no guns
Well,
and bullets. But they were carrying.
Simu said that. She's like, I thought you can't have guns, and he's like, well, these are rubber bullets. I was like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still a gun,
So,
and you can take down a drone with a rubber bullet.
are you saying that the lottery commission only has one drone?
But you could
Follow
take
her?
down. I'm assuming there'd be multiple, but you could still try to
Yeah,
take
they probably
them
got
down.
backups.
No, I think you're right. That would have been a way better because they kept saying the drone will tell them your position in like 3 minutes, and then they're like, just
But it
running
only did
away
it like
from the
every so
drone.
often. Like it would tell you, but then you'd have like a half hour or hour or something to run away.
Who came up with these generic rules? Like, why? Like, we're gonna tell you your position, but not again for an hour. And
I mean,
like,
otherwise you can just hide somewhere.
I was just gonna say it's fair
Yeah.
because it does make sure that like people will know where you are, but it does give you an opportunity to try and escape at the same time.
the way you're saying it is they're making murder fair, which just makes me laugh. Like they're like giving
They want the
everybody
game.
a
It's like
In
fair-
the
it's like
context
Hunger
of
Games,
this
yeah.
game,
I know.
Yeah.
It's they're giving everyone a fair shot to
Yeah.
escape, a fair shot to murder. It's
although the
awesome.
panic room thing was a good idea, and I don't know why that would be like something that John Cena's character would already have access to, like a panic room somewhere. He was like, if only we had a panic room. It's like, yeah, why don't you have a panic room so you can just bring the people that agree to like take on your protection to your panic room and wait the shit out. Like that was his whole plan. Once they got into it, he's like, oh great, we'll just wait here and we'll be perfectly fine. It's like, right, so why don't you have one? This
And
is your
the-
whole
the-
business.
The panic room they found was the most random. How?
And another thing that pissed me off, I was so mad that they didn't bring Machine Gun Kelly into the panic room because they even say,
Yeah.
he has the password, he's going to be able to tell them. And it's like, right, so bring him in with you. But no,
I
instead
know.
they leave him outside and they like, we'll stun him. It's like, but even if that did work, there's a good chance he was going to wake up before time ran out.
Yeah. If you stun him, he could be just stunned in the panic room. So there's
Right.
no chance.
That's what I mean. Like, I was like, yeah, shoot him in the head and then bring him in with you so that in no scenario can he tell people to come.
I also thought that was what was going to happen, and then it didn't.
Yeah.
And you already know that he's not in the game because A, he's Machine Gun Kelly, wouldn't risk getting killed, and B, had no idea what was going on when you showed up at his house.
But you're speaking to how dumb they were with regards to him having a panic room or not, and then also the GK thing. So it makes sense. And then if you brought him in, like how in the world would you get him out? How would you get the door open? They needed some kind of mechanism for
Oh,
them to
no,
open that
they-
door again.
No. He's talking.
It's a
about
panic
movie.
room. You can get out of a panic room.
No, he's talking about
No,
a
no,
movie
no.
plot. Like, how would they get them out of the panic room, right? And
Yeah,
connect
yeah.
them?
I
Yeah.
mean, they still could have. You don't think someone could have guessed 6969?
Apparently not, because they're all dumb.
But it would have been a very easy thing for it just to be like, it's Machine Gun
Wait.
Kelly. What do you think his pet code would be?
I was gonna say,
6969.
I don't know
Like, I mean, you
much
could
about-
absolutely.
I don't know much about Machine Gun Kelly to know that is that a weird? It was all that a joke that I don't know about. Like he has a panic room, and that I don't know. I didn't know it.
No, I think he
I
just
don't know.
likes banging.
They also made tons of fun of him too. Like,
That was fun. Even
But
the
that makes
introduction
sense.
when they showed up at the door, that was fun. Yeah, there was
So-
a lot of cool one-liners against them.
Yeah.
About him. Yeah.
which in this kind of movie, listen, it's like it's fun. So if they, let them kind of if they're gonna like let them go all in is kind of what you know what I mean. Let them make fun of each other. Let them kind of go over the top. Like let it because otherwise, if you want to think about it this way, if it wasn't like that, this movie would have been awful. Like just we couldn't have sat through it if they were.
Remember that
just,
after
like-
this movie, he did get more tattoos. He
Yeah.
like tattooed like his whole body.
Is that possible? I don't know.
Like it's just like he just tattooed himself like black, basically. Like just like it's not even like a design. He's just like all like shaded in.
Weird dude.
Yeah. he is.
All right, so before I go to ratings, we talked about everything. We talked about, I don't know, like this car chase and the helmets and the fighting and I don't know. I really don't know what's left to talk about.
Nothing.
So, let's just go. I want to go to our rating.
The end.
The end. So, we have IMDb on average giving this a 5.8 out of 10. The critics, 30%. Pretty sure this isn't a critic darling. But the audience gave it a 50%. So, which is what Ryan and Lion's been talking about for a couple weeks now. IMDb and the audience are pretty similar. 58
Usually.
for 50%, 5.8. So, what is your banana rating out of 10? I don't know if we'd recommend it, but final thoughts. I'm gonna go with 66. He's always my wild card all the time, so I usually start with him.
Because oftentimes, like he'll like talk about it for a while, and then at the end, the number he gives, I'm like, that matches the word. Not at all.
I'm not, I don't think my number's gonna change, but I'm not sure. So let me see what we got.
No, it's tough. I actually talked to a couple people about this, and I'm like, the concept was fun. John Cena was fun. Awkwafina was good. I mean, the actors were fun. Like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. I don't want to see it again. But like, if you're just, I don't know, if you're bored and you got like you and your friend or significant other, you just want to sit through a silly movie, sure, watch it. I don't know. You don't hate it, but you're not gonna love it. So, 4.5.
Whoa, that's way lower than I thought.
Yeah.
Yep, I told you. I was
Okay.
like, I feel like he's been saying some nice stuff, but I don't think he's gonna give it a high rating.
Nope.
The words and the numbers rarely match up. It's
That was. I
5 is
literally-
neutral.
I typed in like 5.5, and then I was like, "Ooh, maybe he's going up to 6."
I was gonna say he was talking like I could see him going as high as 6, and it's like, but you know what? No, I feel like he's fucking.
He gave it more on the negative side, but positive
That
review.
is awesome. I love it.
He's
love
like,
it.
you know, I think there's a lot of things to like here. I'm giving it a 2.
But it wasn't good. I don't know. Like,
It's
But it wasn't bad.
you maybe should have given it a 5, but
it was close. It was a half a point off.
all right. Ryan, I guess you should go next.
I mean, this is obviously my favorite movie of all time, so I'm giving it a 0. No. It was dumb. It was okay. I did chuckle. The premise, obviously you just have to suspend all logic and reality to accept any enjoyment out of this movie because it's just a complete nonsense. But yeah, I mean, similar to 66, I don't think I'm gonna watch it again. But yeah, I don't. It's tough. I'm kind of right where and I'm probably gonna go with 4.5 as well.
Wow.
It was okay. I was debating between a 5, but then like we talked about giving 5s, and it's like, well, I don't think it's that. So.
All right. Wow. All
Yeah.
right, they're lower than I thought, but go ahead, Walter.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say it's okay and go under a 5. That just makes no logical sense to me. I do not recommend this, though. It is, unless you turn off your brain and just want to watch a stupid movie, yes, go for it. That's something to watch. I'm giving it a higher score because the antagonist had goon money, which is something we talked about last week. And it will be memorable. And I forgot what I was going to say. Damn. But it was I enjoy it more because it did better than last week's movie because it leaned into how stupid and funny it was supposed to be versus trying to figure out what it was going to be. That being said, 5.5, slightly better than what it was the movie last week.
You wanted to go 5.
I'm going to remember. I'm going to remember how dumb it was.
See, that's the situation. I was like, I would have given it a 5, but we talk about 5 is unmemorable, so I had to go one way or the other. That was the tough part.
I am so happy you brought back goon money. To be honest,
Goon money. He needed goon money, and he got it. You know what?
He had some crazy goon money.
That's something 66 wasn't here for. Sorry, but goon money is why all these people do what they do because goons are expensive, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
Listen, if you like these actors, like if you can sit through like Awkwafina rambling and John Cena, it's fun. I agree. It's a fun movie. I was all the way up at a 6 when I came in here just because I had fun with it. I was about to go back down to a 5.5, but I think I'm gonna stick with a 6. Maybe it was maybe it was because I had fun when I was watching it, but I'm going with a 6. It was not like, I know sometimes 66 is like, well, it's not a good movie. I'm like, yeah, but I enjoyed myself. So I liked it a little better, especially than some of the other ones we watched like last week. Like Walter said, it knew what it wanted to be. It was super silly. I laughed a couple times. Crazy premise. I'll take something new over something I've seen 100 times. So for those extra little reasons, I go up to a 6 for this.
See, I had to bring it down a little bit because of those little things I mentioned where it was like, it would have been so much easier.
Oh, yeah.
Change things that annoyed me. That I was like, you almost had to go out of your way to annoy me with this decision.
He's okay with the concept of how far-fetched it is, but her not knowing, just, oh, no. It's horrible.
Because it didn't matter to the story, and you didn't need it.
But the story was stupid anyway.
Sure, but stick to your concept. That's my whole thing.
You fixing it for all of us almost brought me down to the 5.5, and I was like, no,
because it makes you think about it and realize, like, oh my god, that was so
that would have
stupid.
been
Why didn't
so
they?
much better. But instead, I decided to stick with my guns. Maybe I'm in a good mood, and I'm giving it the extra half a point.
I want to point out: is this the first movie that Cornelius is the highest rated
It
rating?
might be.
Because I don't think that's ever happened.
And
this might be like one of the like largest discrepancies between mine and Cornelius's ratings. I feel like we're usually pretty close.
Actually, we are pretty close. I mean, no, I'm still sticking with it. I could still go
1.5 difference.
It's not even a big difference. Yeah,
It's not big, but I feel like we're usually like a half off like every time.
Like, look at our banana scale. It's like there's some spots on the banana to like just slightly more spots on the banana. It's not even that big of a difference in what we have here. But yeah, I don't know. I agree. If you want to have like some dumb fun, just go watch this movie. It's, you know, on Amazon Prime, but I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I didn't really have much to do about this one. But listen, if this is a big discrepancy, let us know what you think. You know, I want to know what your banana rating is. Leave it there. I think we're getting better, right? So here's hoping that next week will be even. I'm not gonna say that because it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna be better. I think we're gonna watch The Killer on Peacock, but I'm not. I don't know. So listen, like,
another
share,
Jackpot.
yeah, no. And come back for next week and join the conversation. We're now going to be on YouTube and Twitch, so we'll see if we can broaden our reach.
I feel like you gave it a higher score because of the exclamation point.
Oh, definitely. Unnecessary addition to the title.
What are
Whack
other
you next
movies with
time.
punctuation in the title? I'm trying to think of them. Right.
I'm going to find out.
There's got to be some.